Welcome to a tale that history almost forgot. This is the story of a hero whose bravery and sacrifice changed the world. A story hidden in the shadows, waiting to be discovered. Our story begins in a small, war-torn village in the heart of a conflict that spanned decades. Amidst the chaos and fear, there lived a young soldier named Eric. Eric was not famous, not celebrated. He was just an ordinary person, caught in extraordinary times. Eric's village, nestled in a valley surrounded by mountains, had always been a peaceful place. The villagers lived simple lives, tending to their fields and raising their families. But war had brought terror and uncertainty. The enemy forces, known for their ruthlessness, closing in, and the village was on the brink of destruction. One cold winter night, as the villagers huddled in their homes, the distant sounds of marching soldiers echoed through the valley. Fear gripped their hearts. They knew the enemy was approaching. But amidst the fear, Eric knew he had to act. With a heart full of courage, he gathered a few villagers and led them to safety, guiding them through secret paths he had discovered as a child. As dawn approached, Eric realized that the enemy was setting up a surprise attack. They planned to ambush the village at sunrise. Without hesitation, Eric decided to act. He knew the risk, but he also knew what was at stake. His family, friends, and everyone he loved depended on him. Eric set out alone to the enemy camp. Using his knowledge of the land, he created diversions and misled the enemy troops. His actions bought precious time for the villagers to escape and for reinforcements to arrive. He snuck through the shadows, disrupting their plans with cunning tactic. He knew the terrain better than anyone and used this to his advantage. As he moved silently through the forest, he thought of his parents, his younger sister, and the future they all deserved. This gave him strength. He reached the enemy's camp and observed their movements. With careful precision, he set traps and created confusion among the soldiers. The enemy, thrown into disarray, lost valuable time. But Eric's mission came at a great cost. In the final moments of his daring plan, he was captured. The enemy forces, realizing they had been outwitted by a single soldier, were furious. They took him prisoner, intending to make an example of him. Villagers, meanwhile, had managed to flee to a nearby town, where they found safety and support. They heard of Eric's bravery and the sacrifice he made. They were safe because of him, but Eric's name was lost in the turmoil that followed. War continued to ravage the land, and in the chaos, many heroes' stories were forgotten. Years passed, and the village slowly rebuilt itself. Peace returned, and the memories of war began to fade. Few remembered the name of the soldier who had saved them. Yet Eric's actions had left an indelible mark. His courage inspired stories, and his sacrifice became a legend. In the quiet moments of their lives, the villagers often spoke of a mysterious figure who had saved them. Children grew up hearing tales of a brave soldier who had risked everything for their safety. Eric's story was passed down through generations, a symbol of hope and resilience. One day, a young historian named Elena stumbled upon old records and letters while researching the history of the region. Intrigued by the mention of a brave soldier, she began to piece together Eric's story. The historian traveled to the village, interviewed the elders, and uncovered the truth about the forgotten hero. Elena's journey to uncover Eric's story was filled with challenges. She spent long hours in dusty archives, deciphering old manuscripts and cross-referencing accounts. Her dedication was fueled by a deep sense of justice and a desire to honor the hero who had been overlooked by history. Elena discovered letters written by Eric to his family, revealing his thoughts and fears. In these letters, Eric wrote about his love for his village and his determination to protect it. He spoke of the heavy burden of responsibility he felt and his unwavering commitment to his people. One letter in particular stood out. It was written on the eve of his mission, and in it, Eric expressed his hope that his actions would make a difference. He wrote, "If my sacrifice can bring peace to our village, then it is a price I am willing to pay. I only hope that my loved ones will find happiness and remember me not as a hero, but as someone who loved them deeply." These letters painted a picture of a young man who was both brave and humble, driven by a profound sense of duty and love for his community. Elena knew that Eric's story needed to be told, not just to honor his memory, to inspire future generations. Alina's research led her to the old battlefield where Eric had been captured. She walked the same paths he had taken, imagining the courage it must have taken to face such danger alone. Standing in the place where Eric had made his sacrifice, Alina felt a deep connection to him. She realized that his story was not just about bravery, but also about the enduring power of love and sacrifice. With the support of the village, Alina organized a memorial to honor Eric. On the anniversary of his sacrifice, the villagers gathered to remember their hero. They shared stories, read his letters, and expressed their gratitude for his selfless act. The memorial was a powerful reminder of the impact one person can have on the lives of many. Eric's story was finally told. His bravery and sacrifice were honored, not just by his village, but by many who heard his tale. He was no longer forgotten. He was remembered as the hero who, through his courage, changed the lives of many. Eric's legacy lived on in the hearts of those who heard his story. His actions inspired others to act with courage and selflessness in their own lives. The villagers, now thriving and at peace, often reflected on the sacrifices made for their freedom. Eric's story became a symbol of hope and a reminder of the power of one person's actions to change the world. If you found it inspiring, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.